The new school year is about to start. It's an exciting time for all of our families, but also a busy time. New routines begin, school supplies need to be bought, and families often get what feels like an avalanche of forms and permission slips. I'm here today with Elementary Assistant Principal Laura Marshall and Secondary School Associate Principal Quincy Waller to remind families of a few important things they can do to start the school year off and to assure better communication with schools and information needed to assist our students. Welcome.
Thank you.
So I remember back in the day when my kids were little and those papers came in and it was everything from healthcare forms to emergency cards to student conduct books that you had to sign, and just trying to make sure that everything got where it needed to go. What are some things, like, I know it's important, but why is it so important that we have so many of those forms, and what can we do as parents to help support what's going on in the school, Laura?
Well, it is important to have those things filled out. Running a school and getting those things where they're supposed to go is kind of like running a small city. It helps us run things smoother and safer for the students and the teachers. The emergency care card, what I would stress is, as soon as you can touch those emergency cards and those questionnaires, just get them filled out. And there is a front and a back. Just make sure everything is filled out thoroughly. Those emergency cards give us contact information, an updated address, give us secondary contact information if we can't get involved or if we can't get in touch with the parents, but we need, an emergency happens and we need to get in touch with someone. It gives us medical information on the back and even a release to treat the student if we need to in the event that we can't get in touch with the parents right away.
Certainly that's important. And then at the high school level, anything else that you would see?
I would kind of piggyback on the importance of really getting that information and the correct contact information. So if you need to update information from the previous year, if you've moved or there's a change in health concerns, make sure that we have the most current information so that if in the case an emergency arises, that we can contact the correct person, and we would also be able to release them to the correct person. So I would say that's probably one of the most important things, is that have that information updated.
And so one of the other things, and I think that that's a good point, just kind of staying on top of it too, and from a parent standpoint, that trying to get everything organized to get started. So for instance, the bus information, and with everything changing as it does every summer, every year, trying to make sure that everybody gets to where they need to go. Mm-hmm. The bus, how do I find that information out? If I'm new to the county or haven't, think that there might have been changed, how can I find out, Laura, what bus my child is riding?
So closer to the start of school, most schools have it posted at the school, on the school grounds. But you can also go to the mychesterfield.com. I know at the top there's a schools tab, and then we tell parents there's links on the side, and one is for transportation. And that gives you every route for every school in our county.
And I think it's important to remember that there is the school bus number, but the route number is what you really want to pay attention to.
Right. The bus number is specific to the bus. What we need students to pay attention to is that route, because that route is going to stay consistent no matter what bus or what bus driver. That route is going to show the students what bus to get on.
And because we want everyone to get where they need to be.
Yes.
And so at the high school and at the elementary school and middle school level, the student conduct card, the code of conduct. Quincy, could you tell me a little bit about why we want our parents to sign that and return it?
It's kind of a protection for both students and schools, so that students know the expectations in the building and that they're aware of those expectations. We don't want anybody to be caught off guard, and we want to make sure that the building runs as smoothly as possible. Every building has a culture that they want to establish, and they want the parents and the students to be aware of those. And so the importance of them not only getting the student handbook and code of conduct to kind of go through it. We will go through the handbook with the students at school, but it's important for parents then to look at it as well when they get home, so that everybody's on the same page.
Well, it provides you a great talking point for your child about what the expectations are too, at home and at school. And so is there anything else that you would suggest that might be just, a tip to just help get the year off to a good start, Laura?
I would say Just stay involved as much as you can, form a relationship with the schools, a positive one where you're supporting the school and excited about what the students are learning and what your children are learning. Those relationships are really important, and to make sure that you keep that staff the student handbook handy so that you can refer to things as they come up and questions as they come up throughout the year.
Wonderful. And anything you'd like to add to that?
Well, two things. I'd like to go back to the transportation piece once again, making sure that students are not only aware of their physical address, but also possibly their neighborhood, because after school, when students let out for school, sometimes it helps us to help them if they know their physical address or the community that they live in, so we can make sure that they get on the bus and get home safely. And then also being ready and excited to come back to school and ready to learn. It's an exciting part of the year, and I would also encourage parents excuse me, to reach out early and often to once again establish those partnerships with their teachers so that we can all get off on the right foot.
And so this is just my wrapping up question, and this is, as an educator, I love the first part of school. It's so exciting. What's your favorite part, both of you, if you'll share? The part you like the best about the first few days?
The energy and the busyness, the buzzing of students. During the summer, working is great, but if you really like being around and value and love students and children, you can't wait till the building is full of young people moving about, being excited to being back at school, talking to their friends and meeting their teachers for the first time. So that energy in the building is really what excites me.
Yeah, I would say a very similar thing. We have been working so hard right now to just get everything ready, get the building ready, get our schedules ready. I know teachers are really excited to come back and get planning for the students, but when those students come in, everything comes to life. So those students in that first day of school and getting that new year underway is certainly the best time of the year.
There is nothing that beats the smell of new crayons, and it's so exciting.
Absolutely.
It's a great time of the year. Well, thank you so much for all you do to serve our students. I know
Thank
that
you.
they're certainly lucky to be coming back to people as committed as you guys are. And thank you for joining us on Engage Chesterfield.